Exactly, right? Because remember, well, let's go here. There'll only be three places that they're in the whole conversation. They're either being disarmed and open, or they're in the fight box, or they're in the flight box. Okay, and sometimes it goes around in circles, especially when you're learning this. It's a constant thing to get them to stay over here. You want to be over here most of the time compared to over here, especially at the end. Okay, so objection prevention, we really want, if we do this right, we can prevent probably 70, it depends on what you sell to, but I'd say we can probably prevent 70% of the objections you're getting now. Once we really learn like how to seed certain things, even say like, just little things like, let's say that we're able to come in, we're able to do X, Y, Z like we do with other clients, just like little things like that, start preventing more objections and more concerns. It just kind of keeps disarming, all right? Now, there's going to be some times where we need to learn how to handle some objections, okay? Rod, why don't you tell the story you were just talking to me and TC about, you know, what you had just learned on one of the training calls with the I want to think it over objection compared to what you used to do and what I showed you how to do and like kind of how I respond to that. Go ahead. Okay, so before you go further, when they're saying, you know, this sounds really good, but I really need to think this over. Well, what do you need to think it over? What do you need to think about? What does that trigger? Does that disarm them? No. That would put them either in this mode or this mode. Because we're like pushing. What do you need to think? What do you need to think about? I thought you said you wanted to change. Like, why do you need to think about changing? See, I'm like arguing, which triggers these two boxes. And then you go around in circles and you have to loop them and reframe them and then loop and reframe and, you know, tie the knot over here. Like, why do you do all that? Like, it's just, you're just making it harder than it has to be. Okay, so keep going.
Problem. Did what you taught us?
Okay, speak up a little bit because it's probably hard for them to hear back. They can't hear the microphone. Only this is hearing the microphone. Sorry, Rod.
Oh, yeah. So I told him it's not a problem, like no issues. And then I asked him when does he think, how much time does he think he need just to, you know, see if I'd be available for him so we can schedule
Yeah, what's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two to see if I'd be available for you? Which we'll talk about why we do that in a second.
So we scheduled a Friday call, and we got it on the calendar. So the reason why we did that, which was important, was we had the commitment for the time. And it was him and his partner on the call. And I was like, okay, no worries. And now before I go, implying that I'm about to leave, like, you won, no issues before I go. What was it that you wanted to think about? Just so I can make sure I have any answers for you, for any questions that you may have when we talk on Friday. And that disarmed him. And
what was it that you were wanting to go over, a better way to do it, and you probably did it this way? Oh, and now, before I go, what were you wanting to go over in your mind, just so I know what questions you might have when we talk on Friday?
Yeah.
Now, why would we say, before I go? What does that do? Why does that disarm him? He's off the hook.
Yeah.
Another way you could do it, and I wouldn't suggest it yet, I don't know if you're ready, but I might say, now, before I go, just off the record, what were you wanting to go over in your mind?
Yeah.
Just so I know what questions you might have when we talk again on Friday. See a little spin?
Yeah.
Okay, not ready for that yet. Maybe down the road. Okay? Those snags. I can't give you all my secrets. A magician never reveals all of his tricks. Well, maybe eventually. Okay, so, and how did he react to that?
He literally just, he stopped and he started talking. What do I want to go over with my mind? Started asking
It triggers him to think, what do I want to go over in my mind? And he's going to tell you what?
Yeah, so I asked, can I make a suggestion beforehand? He wasn't open to it. Like when I tried to go the different route, he wasn't open to it. But I asked him, would he want me to like just leave the Zoom room so he didn't have time to think? And he said, yeah. So he talked to his partner. I put myself on mute and left, and they started talking about what their concerns were with each other. And they got over it. So when I came back, he resolved his own concerns, and we did the deal right there.
Yeah, and sometimes that'll work, sometimes it won't, the way you did it. But when we say, okay, so, yeah, that's, well, let's actually just role play this. Will somebody be my prospect real quick? Chris, be my prospect. Okay, so just say, what do you guys want me to sell? Quickly, what should I sell? No. Okay, something that you guys are in here selling. It does you no good if I teach you how to do what to do for insurance. None of you are in insurance sales. Huh? Do you guys sell some of that? Oh, okay. So let's say you're a business owner and you're like, yeah, I really need, this sounds really good, but I need to, I'm 100% in. I just really need to think about it.
Yeah.
Right? You ever hear that? I really need to think about this. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm 100% in. Like, I love Brandon, like 100% in. But I need some time to really think about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like everything sounds good, Jeremy. I mean, like everything you covered is pretty awesome.
We're not that cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I just need to go take 24 hours to think about it. If that works with you. Can I contact you with email?
Well, I guess. I don't know. What are we going to do with you? Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem. What's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two just to see if I'd be available for you? Stop.
Yeah, I could.
Stop.
Oh.
What did I do there? What's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two just to see if I'd be available for you? Give him the microphone.
Well, I have
Put that one on. Put that one on.
I have a question because
Okay.
he said I need 24 hours to think about it. Are you still going to ask what is your time frame in the next day or two, even
Sure.
though he specified 24 hours?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. There's two things I did there.
Yeah,
For
you're
two reasons.
You're busy, right? Like
I'm busy.
You're
I've got
you
lots
may
of
not
clients.
be able to get back to it.
I don't really need you. I'm not saying that, but I'm implying that. Like, yeah, that's not a problem. I guess what's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two just to see if I'd be available for you? So we already got that. What was the second thing I did there?
Oh yeah, so putting yourself as the authority, so you're controlling the time, and then also disarming by allowing him to feel like he's got that
Yeah,
time.
I disagree.
And he can clarify.
I disagree, because if I'm
Yeah.
like, well, but what do you need to go over?
It's like leaning into that objection where people would expect the salesperson to fight back. They're waiting for you to fight back. So when you completely do the
100%
opposite,
they're waiting.
They're like, oh, this guy's on my team.
Yeah, I'm on your team. I just agree. I'm like, yeah, that's not a problem. What's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two just to see if I'd be available? Now, why wouldn't I say, what's your time frame on getting back? Just to see if I'd be available. What if he comes back and says 2 weeks? Is that really gonna happen? More than likely not. Now, depends on the size of the company. Sometimes it's a massive company, a week out's not a problem because they're gonna show up. Okay, but let's say if it's a smaller business owner, they get busy, things are going on. The longer I schedule that out, the less likely they are to come back if I need that. That appointment is my insurance policy in case I can't help them overcome the concern here. At least I have something set up as my backup plan. That's why I do that. That's why I don't go right into like, yeah, that's not a problem. What are you wanting to go over in your mind before I leave? I don't do that yet. See, it has to be structured the right way to get the maximum impact. I need an insurance policy in case I can't help him overcome it, so I still got this here, okay? And I want him to feel like I'm leaving. That's the main thing. Like, you're good, you got me, I'm gone. That's what I want him to feel like. I want him to be disarmed, okay? Yeah, that's not a problem. Just go with me on this. That's not a problem. What's your time frame? Now, let me give you a nuance. Say, well, I don't know. I just kind of have to get back to you maybe later in the week. I'm just going to throw you guys some curveballs because this could happen. So I'm just going to show you what to do. That's fine. I'm going to give you 2 curveballs, and then we need to get set up because we're going to go in the live stream in 5 minutes, okay? We just got to get warmed up here. Okay, so in this curveball, I want you to say, I'm going to say, what's your time frame to get back to me in the next day or two to see if I'd be able to, like, man, I don't know, like, it's best if I maybe just call you back maybe in a week or so.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but for me, it'd probably be better off getting in contact with you like a week. If that works with you.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd be like, and I'd have to see what I have, but it's kind of hard to get me like that randomly just because I have so many clients and stuff. I guess specifically, if you have your calendar handy, I can pull up mine and have you book a specific time with me in the next day or two, maybe even 3. That way you don't have to chase me down and vice versa. Would that help you?
Yeah, that works. I can pull my calendar. If that works.
Okay, stop. What did I just do? He said, yeah, I'm just gonna have to get back to you in like a week or so. I'm just kind of all over the place right now. If you say, okay, you're never gonna hear back from that guy. So if I say, well, yeah, it's kind of hard to randomly get me like that just with my calendar and client appointments and stuff that I have. I tell you what though, if this helps you, if you have your calendar handy, I can pull up mine. That way you can book a specific time with me. That way you don't have to chase me down and vice versa. Would that be more appropriate?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm leaving. So we're booking an appointment, but at least now I have like a solid time. If I don't have a time, that deal, how many times has somebody said that to you guys and you didn't book a solid time? Did that deal ever go through? Very unlikely. So you know that deal's not going anywhere unless you get like a solid time as your insurance policy. So we're on for I guess Wednesday at 2. Okay, blah blah blah. Now, hey, before I go, what were you wanting to go over in your mind, just so I know what questions you have for me when we talk on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, really, like what's on my mind is mostly just, I guess, the finance part.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite expensive, I guess.
Okay, now, where do I have him? Where's he at? I got him back on the what? The yellow brick road. What did I just do? I got him right back on where I want him. See, I got him right back on the yellow brick road. Okay?
One thing you did, Jeremy, that I thought was really interesting that I kind of picked up on is this subtle, like, sort of push-pull energy. When he gives you the objection of like, oh yeah, in a week or 2 we can talk. You push him away by saying, with my calendar and everything, that's not really something I could potentially do.
What did I just do? I have to be on at least his same status.
Yeah, exactly.
If I go below his status,
So you pushed him away and
oh
then you pulled him
yeah,
back. I can help you.
can I call you maybe Saturday, like below his status? Okay, you're right. I have to stay on his status. So if he says he's busy and not time, I say this. I don't say like I'm busy too, man. I don't say it like that. I say like I'm too busy because that's confrontational. But if I'm like, well, yeah, it'd probably be hard to like randomly try to get a hold of me like that with my schedule with clients and everything. What I can do though, if it helps you, is if you have your calendar handy, I can pull up mine and have you book a specific time with me. That way you don't have to chase me down and vice versa. Would that be more appropriate? That way you don't have to what? Chase me down. What did I just shift there?
Authority status.
I'm shifting the dynamic. I'm not chasing you. That way you don't have to chase me down. See the difference in that? So let's say that you're in the dating ball game. So I just want you to think of human behavior 101. So you're in the dating ball game and you really like a certain person and you're at some event and you go up to them and you start talking to them and you start chasing them. What do they typically do back? They run the other way. It's just human behavior. But if you act like you're not so interested, maybe, but it's more like a mystery if the person's interested or not, what do you typically do back? You start to lean in because it's like you're not quite sure if they like you or not. But the moment you feel that they really, really want you and like you, especially early on when there's no trust and you don't know them well enough, is the moment you do what? You start to go the other way, right? It's human behavior. Has anybody ever seen that in your dynamics? Like if you're single, before you're married, if you're married, You would have saw that?
Both ways, but it was like, that person came out and started investigating it. They got that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. So like if you like somebody, it's almost like you're not acting, you're just kind of neutral. It's like a mystery. They're not quite sure what to expect, and that's what makes you more intriguing, because they don't know what's going on. So you become more interesting in their mind. So it's the same thing in sales. So what I did is, there was a couple things in there. What's your time frame? Get back to me just so I see if I'll be available for you. It's like, oh yeah, that positions me as more of an expert authority. And they were like the randomly calling, that positions me again to the same status or above. And then again, when I say that way, you don't have to chase me down and vice versa, that positions me again as even maybe more higher status, where he's like, wow, this person's an expert. Like, they don't need me. Like, maybe I need them. It triggers that. And then when I come back and say, now, before I go, I guess what was it that you were wanting to go over in your mind, just so I know what questions you might have when we talk on Friday. Now, I want to say, not what do you want to think over in your mind? What question, or what was it that you're wanting to go over in your mind? That's the same thing as what you want to think over. But see how I'm neutralizing that word. I don't sound like everybody else saying that. That way I know what questions you might have when we talk on Friday. See, once again, he thinks like, oh yeah, I can tell him because we're not going to talk till Friday. So I can be more open. See, I just disarmed him again. Okay? That way he feels more comfortable, like, well, because he's going to tell me more of the truth, because he feels like we're going to talk about that on Friday. So he can tell me what's on his mind. And he said, well, I'm kind of concerned about the financing. See, he just told me what his concern is. At least one of his concerns. Maybe he has more than that. But now I've got him back here. I've immediately got him back on the path I want to take him. And now I know, and then I say, oh, what do you mean by the financing? And he'd be like, well, I'm not sure we have the money for it. And now, money objection. That's what it was.